What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should a like and sub, and let's get into this. Of all the problems with AAA gaming and obviously the DEI agenda inclusion, that is just one of many. We've talked about it for a while. It's been coming to this point. Uh, I remember, God, for at least the last 2 decades, basically, a game from Xbox or even PC would be like $50, and then that $50 turned to 60, and now 70, and now it's plus $100 on some of these games coming out, and they're broken and they take a year to be patched, or it takes modders to fix the game. Either way, it's not profitable. And then you add in all the DEI inclusion, and it's really not profitable. And that's what's bringing this article to light. So in addition to Grum's calling for that 2-year moratorium on buying AAA games, Saber Interactive co-founder Matthew Karch is telling us that AAA development has become very risky. So we have Saber Interactive co-founder who recently reacquired the company from the Embracer Group. Saber Interactive also still doing the Knights of the Republic remake. So he shared his thoughts. Of course, like I said, saying that AAA development has become very risky. In an interview with IGN following the sale of Saber Interactive to Beacon Interactive, Karch commented on the state of AAA gaming. In general, I would say that AAA development has become very risky, and that's where Saber is different. Saber, I believe, can create AAA, but not at a AAA budget. And obviously, much like the movie industry and those budgets for movies have skyrocketed, so has the budgets for these video games. Now, granted, the video game industry makes far more money than those movies, but it still adds up. Later in the interview, Karch discussed the current $70 price point for PlayStation 5 and Xbox XS games. I think that as games become more expensive to make, the $70 title is going to go the way of the dodo. Like they tell you that's a bird if you didn't know. I do, or it was a bird. I do. I think it's going to go the way of the dodo. I do. I just don't think it's sustainable. It's not. And that is the one time sustainability makes sense, is in the context of these games. Look, you remember the hype for Cyberpunk, which I think actually ultimately performed okay. But when the expectations are so high and so much money is put into one title, it's hugely risky for the company that's doing it. What if it fails? And that's what we're seeing. What if it fails? Well, the company goes out of business. They can't tank the losses the way the movie industry can. Look what happened to Volition with their Saints Row reboot that did not do well. And that's what we heard also, is that a lot of these game companies, the ship is already going. They can't turn it. And so even though DEI and agenda is not popular, and the ugly protagonist that, no idealistic or unrealistic body types, all that shit that's no longer popular, it's going out, they're still stuck doing that. The damage has been done, and they can't tank the losses when it ultimately is rejected. He then brought up Ubisoft. You remember what happened when Ubisoft a couple of years ago, all their titles slipped out of the year, and then all of a sudden they were in an entirely different place. It's hard to recover from that. I think the market is going to shift to development, which is not necessarily lower quality, but there's going to be an emphasis trying to find ways to reduce costs. According to IGN, Karch also discussed that AI will likely reduce costs and potentially improve quality. However, he believes that this is the tip of the iceberg for AAA video game development. Valentine wrote, he believes that AAA game development is going through a major shift, a reckoning of sorts, and that ongoing trends of sky-high budgets and years upon years of development aren't sustainable. They're not, and they're certainly not sustainable the way you're doing it. All that BioWare magic that used to exist in some places and all that crunch time, it's just the people you're hiring that are agenda first and influencers first. They're not capable of doing that, so it's not sustainable. And if Karch is right, he's eager for Saber to step in and conquer the market. Karch explained why he's optimistic that Saber will be able to dominate the market. I think that there's going to be a real shortage of game content over the coming years. You've seen how many layoffs there's been, and there have been a good amount of them. That's only going to get worse. You've seen how many games have gotten killed, but we have a lot of good projects going on that I'm proud of and that I feel really, really strongly about. And remember, like I said, Knights of the Republic is coming from them. Not only is AAA development becoming risky due to its massive budgets and potential lack of return, but many gamers are actively boycotting. Yes, they're just referencing that AAA boycott of first any game that is related to Sweet Baby Inc. And in general, at this point now, again, as called for Grums, and here they have it, just straight up a moratorium. I have so many games in my back catalog. I do not need to get any new ones. I still have to play some of the ones that I haven't finished. And yeah, this Tomb Raider thing of them coming in and turning it into some sort of colonial apology thing of she's not even going to be a Tomb Raider anymore. It's all going to be about truth seeking and no more getting cultural artifacts from people. It's lunacy. I don't give a shit. It's so stupid. It's why even call her Lara Croft? And that's the point, is they want to change everything. It's just more revisionist history. It is not sustainable. I agree with Saber Interactive. AAA gaming may still exist. Obviously, it's never going away, but it cannot sustain the release cycle and price points that they've been hitting. And they certainly can't do it with the horrible, corrupted storytelling from these narrative consultancy. And obviously, all these companies are capitulating to DEI and all that shit on their own. And so until all that changes, yeah, it's not looking good. And we will definitely, much like movies, I think we will see fewer quality outputs of games and all of that. But let me know what you think of this. Does this shock you at all? Either way, let me know. Be sure to like, share, and sub. If you've done that, thank you. If you're gonna do that, thank you. And
well,